Ask about the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I saw, I mean, you put out the statement, but there, in the protests yesterday, at least in Goma, the authorities used live fire and tear gas. A protester was killed, many were injured. And I'm wondering just if you can describe, rather than just sort of a reaction to it, what did MONUSCO do pursuant to its protection of civilians mandate during the protests? And I have another DRC question, but I would like to know this one.
Okay, well, yesterday the mission in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, MONUSCO, reported that demonstrations took place in a number of cities, with reports related to a tense situation in certain neighborhoods of Goma, North Kivu. In line with its mandate, MONUSCO did mobilize to assist. In Kinshasa, for example, UN police units have worked closely with the Police Nationale Congolaise to advise and support them. MONUSCO will continue to closely monitor the situation across the country. As you're aware, the Secretary General issued a statement on this and had stressed the need for all to act in strict respect of the fundamental freedoms and rights enshrined in the Constitution. And he made clear that all parties must exercise restraint and express their views peacefully, and that political actors must engage in a constructive and peaceful political dialogue.
On the same country, I just wanted to get it out. I wanted to ask you, there's a report that was put out, it's dated yesterday, but I don't know, I saw it today, called by Refugees International. It's about Burundian refugees that are in South Kivu and elsewhere in DRC. It says basically that the authorities are mistreating the refugees, and it makes various proposals for the UN system to do more to protect them. I wanted to know, is the UN system aware of the report? What does the UN system believe that its I guess duty is with respect to people that flee Burundi into DRC?
Well, the United Nations, as you know, has efforts to assist and help all refugees that cross borders wherever they may be, and the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, does look after the needs and try to ensure that the basic rights are respected of refugees, and they'll do that in this case. Beyond that, of course, yes, we are aware of this report, and we'll study that.
Then I wanted to ask you this. I also see this as kind of a UN legal question. There's something called the UN Fashion and Design Week. It's all over online. It says that it uses the UN logo. It says that it's holding itself in Dubai in October 2016, and then in China. And it was raised to me because doesn't the UN like reach out and sort of either protect its logo, or this thing is very much recruiting people to compete in a fashion thing for the UN. So what is Mr. de Surpa-Soers doing about this? Is a highly visible thing. It has Twitter accounts, websites. The guy calls himself a UN ambassador. What's the role of OLA?
If there's a false use, an errant use of the logo, we do, in fact, take legal action on those. I don't know the details about this event, whether it's authorized or not authorized, but yes, our Office of Legal Affairs takes care to make sure that that the name of the United Nations and the logo of the United Nations are not used improperly against the interests of the organization.
Because this thing says United Nations Ambassador, Mr. Bucci George, and it has a picture. I mean, it's not. I've looked into it. It's all over the place. So I don't. Have you authorized this?
I don't know the details of this. I don't know whether this is fake or not. It sounds unusual, but having said that, I'd need to look into it. I don't know. It's a big world, and there's any number of things that could be legitimate, but there are many things that are not. There are many times, and the Office of Legal Affairs takes action very frequently against the abuse of the logo. Yes.
I mean, I think I know what you're going to say. I want to ask you again about this trip to South Korea. First, I mean, if you look in today's DPI clips, virtually all of the stories are about Ban Ki-moon running, and there's one in particular that says the people assisting him with his run. It names the former South Korean ambassador here, the current South Korean ambassador here, which is totally they're in their freedom to do it. It also names Mr. Kim Won-soo, and this is so it's not something the UN's unaware of. It's included by DPI in its news clips. So the question arises: is that, what has Mr. Kim sought some kind of a guidance from the ethics office what the balance of his time would be, or is it his position that despite public reporting that this is what he's working on, that because you say he's not, he's not?
He's working as the head of the Office of Disarmament Affairs. That's the work that he does. If he needs to change that, At some point, he would need to let us know. But right now, this is the work he's doing.
Right, because in the clips that you have, it says that it says the Undersecretary General Kim, one of Ban's closest confidants, has made frequent reports about domestic situations to Ban. Is this false? I mean, is he doing that only about disarmament issues or about what other issues?
He has a range of responsibilities on disarmament work, and that is what he does for the Secretary General. That is his job.
And